No, it's 17 days since this round of hostilities began. Remember, on the 7th of October, Hamas took several hostages. Many of them are said to be from the Israeli military after Hamas carried out its incursion into the Israeli territories. And now pressure is intensifying on Israel to negotiate and secure the release of nearly about 200 individuals who are in the custody of Hamas. The family members of those who have been taken captive by Hamas are asking questions of the Israeli Prime Minister. They're in fact saying that it is important that before there is a ground invasion, the captives in Hamas's custody should be secured. According to an Israeli military spokesperson, more than 212 people are being held in Gaza. Officials are also working to try and identify and locate those who are missing after the deadly incursion by Hamas. On Sunday evening, a group of families of those who were killed, those who are held hostage in Gaza, met with the Israeli President Isaac Herzog at his residence in Jerusalem for almost about 2 hours. But the patience amongst the civilians, the Israeli civilians, is running out. The crowds are becoming bigger and they're gathering outside the president's house. They sang songs of mourning and also demanded that there should be some action and some clarity on the part of the Israeli government, because the common people in Israel simply do not know whether their government even has a concerted strategy in place to get the hostages released.
אני לא מדינאית ואני ולא אשת ביטחון. אני אימא. אני אימא דואגת. יש לי 2 ילדות קטנות, אני רוצה אותן פה. עושה הרבה כדי להישאר חזקה ככה, כמו שאני. כי חשוב לי שהבנות שלי יראו אותי חזקה. אם מישהו מראה להם את הרעיון הזה איתך, אני רוצה שהם יראו אותי ושהם ידעו שאני עושה הכל כדי להחזיר אותם.
Those people have no much time. We have to help those hostages very fast. This elderly has no connection to any war. You took people that they are sick to a place which is very difficult to have treatment in. My grandfather and grandmother were taking the sick people from Gaza Strip who cannot get their treatment there to Israeli hospitals, and now they took them there. So I'm very afraid, and you know.
Pressure is piling up not just from within Israel, it's also happening from outside as well. Many of the hostages were said to be citizens or dual nationals of countries around the world, including Israel's closest ally, the United States. At least 7 of the 10 American citizens still remain unaccounted for. They reportedly are being held in custody of Hamas. There are also about 17 Thai hostages, 8 Germans, 7 British nationals and 7 French nationals. So far, 2 American citizens, Judith Ronan and her daughter Natalie Ronan, were released by Hamas after mediation by Qatari officials on humanitarian grounds. The members of the International Committee of the Red Cross escorted the pair out of the Gaza Strip. The pair were then accompanied to an Israeli military base where they were reunited with their families.
I came here to just show my support to Israel, to hopefully give some love to the people of Israel, that they see people care. And also I have 3 children, and I want them to see that we stand with Israel.
No words to describe the suffering of families who have seen their relatives butchered in front of them, and relatives who live in hope that those who were living peacefully in their homes just 2 weeks ago and are now in a Hamas dungeon should be freed. No words can sum up the evil of those responsible for these acts.
De mettre un visage sur tous ces noms, je pense que c'est très émouvant pour nous tous. De se dire que ça aurait pu être notre mère, ça aurait pu être notre sœur, notre grand-mère. Et je pense que c'est la partie la plus dure en fait, on se rend pas compte. Donc voilà, c'est très dur, c'est beaucoup d'émotions et on se dit qu'on fera passer un message avec ces collages et avec ces affiches.
Time is of the essence for the hostages. The hostage lives remain at stake, with Israel about to launch its ground offensive into Gaza. Fears are mounting that once the ground incursion begins, then all hopes for the hostages will fade. Washington is pressing Israel to delay its ground incursion to allow for negotiations for the release of American hostages and humanitarian aid to flow into the Gaza Strip. The United States considers getting the release of hostages should be a priority, but that does not appear to be the case when it comes to Israeli plans. Hamas, on the other hand, has said that Israel is just not serious about negotiating for the release of the hostages. It has even said that Israel has declined to receive 2 more hostages that they were willing to release on humanitarian grounds. But Israel was simply not ready to accept these hostages. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.